Hello, me lovelies. Just wait to see if anyone jumps in to watch and anyone wants to participate because it's an open live today. So let's see. Just give people a chance. So I'm not sure this connection. Am I actually? Let's see. Oh, my on. I could. Do you know what? It was. Thank you for that kick. You read me mind. I don't see. Last night it only started playing up StreamYard last night. I don't know if it's StreamYard or something to do with my computer because no, my computer was slow on other applications yesterday. But yesterday I couldn't end the live. It was like it took a while. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't come out of the live. And I've just come on here, but I hope you're seeing a clear picture because what I'm seeing, it's strange. Are you green and white? Are you? Is he? Yeah, it keeps on going straight. So I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but I think it might be my computer. It's not StreamYard itself because it was going funny yesterday in other applications. So what we're going to be talking about today, of course, is this, which I don't profess to know. I only know what I've read in the papers, and you can't find out much about it in the papers about Joe Joyce being convicted of murder for John Paul McDonagh. I hope I pronounced that right, McDonagh. I don't know whether I pronounced that surname right. But lots of people are saying, it's a miscarriage of justice. I don't know the full story. I'm only going by what I've heard in the papers. And what I've heard in the papers, it does seem very odd, the sentence he's been given, because as it's been portrayed, what happened, and anyone feel free to jump in and discuss this because especially if you've got more knowledge of this case than what I have, because it sounds like, well, I would have thought manslaughter would have been more of a realistic one because the way it's described, these people were coming to him. He wasn't going to them. That's what it sounds like to me. But again, I haven't seen the CCTV footage of what was going on. And, that's why I'd love someone to call in who knows about it. Then I can actually start talking about it because I don't know much about it. Oh, thank you, Tony, for that. Because I say, I only know what's in the press, and it doesn't tell you much. So all that it tells you is that there was a dispute, wasn't there? They came to his house. He came out with a bottle of ammonia and what was it? It was a sai or something. It wasn't a knife, was it? It was something else. Let's see what to say. It's going to go on. Said somebody earlier, didn't he? Can't find now, but he hit him in the back of the leg, didn't he? And the fella bled to get death because of it. This is what you've got to understand, people. You've got a major artery. That's what's happened to a few people, especially these kids carrying knives. They go and stick a knife in someone's leg thinking that won't kill them. You've got a main artery in your leg. It can, and lots of people have been killed that way. But the way it's been, yes, they did go to him. He was removing them from his home, protecting the family inside. There's 3 bit. See, this is what I can't get. If that's what it sounded like to me, that there were people going to him, and if there's 3 people going to your house, and especially if you've got a family and children, your first concern is, and especially if they carrying weapons, your major concern is how to protect your family with reasonable force. So it does seem very, very odd. A slash hook, that was it, wasn't it? Running away. Running away, is that it? So is this the John fella, isn't it? McDonagh, if it don't think I'm pronouncing that right, am I? McDonagh. He was running away from the incident. That's most probably, if that's correct, he was running away and they attacked him. You've got no chance. That would be seen as murder. Well, I don't know. It doesn't always have to be seen as murder, but if someone's running away, it's not advisable to hiss out at them because they're trying to flee the situation. So you are going to get a really, really tough sentence. Isn't it Northern Ireland, though? So they should have the same system as here, shouldn't they, in England? I'd imagine. But definitely in England as well, if you go and attack someone that's running away from you, you're the perpetrator then. You're the one that's going for them. So that's the way the law will see it. Think of it the way of a car. If there's a car accident, you can guarantee if there's a car accident, it's always the fault of someone, of either the car behind or if it's been hit from the side, it's the one that's hit the side of the car. I used to have that all the time. People coming in, the car was going too fast and it hit me in the side. And I'd say, well, you're the fault. Why? Because you weren't looking, were you? Whether they're going 100 miles an hour or not, you're not looking and pulling out. So if they hit you, whether they're speeding or not, has nothing to do with it. You're to blame for it. It's like if someone's hit from behind, straight away, the law and the insurance companies say, well, why were you driving that close that you couldn't stop before you hit them? So do you get the meaning I'm getting here? It's if he's gone after this young lad when he was running away, that's why he's got the sentence, but still murder. That's got to be the intent to kill. There's manslaughter and murder. Manslaughter, it all comes down to the mens rea and the actus reus. Mens rea, guilty state of mind, and then in other words, you've got the intention to carry out the act you're going to. And actus reus is the act itself that's illegal or wrong. So you've got to have those two to get any criminal conviction, really. To have of murder, to have the intention to go out and kill the person, where it's very doubtful that I think, even though he ran after him, if I'd been on that jury, I'd be saying, well, he ran after him. He hits him in the leg. You'd have to be a good aim and know exactly, which he might have done, I don't know, exactly where the artery is in the leg. I said, wouldn't you go for the heart? Wouldn't you just, if you intend to kill someone, I'd imagine you go for the chest area or you go for the neck. You wouldn't go for the leg. Because I say people don't think they stab someone in the leg, these silly kids with these knives, stab people in the leg and they don't realize there's a major artery there. Then it's like the person dies, bleeds to death. Oh yeah, I'll put the link up now. There's definitely where's it? Got the wrong one here. People are saying it's possibly a mistrial. It is. There's a lot of questions there, but as I say, I don't know the full extent of it. But I know that what is out there, the sentence of murder seems does seem open to question. I mean, if you've got 3 people coming towards your house, right, and that they're coming to cause trouble, and your family are in there. But in my mind, this is my mind. One, those people are running the risk. You go to someone's property. I know the law doesn't work like this, but you go to someone's property to cause trouble. I'd imagine most people would say, "Well, you're the one running the risk. So if you get injured or killed, you shouldn't have been doing it. You're running the risk because he could have ended up being killed. His family, one of his family members, could have ended up being seriously injured or killed. That's what I'd be thinking would be going through. That's as a jury member, I'd be thinking, wait a minute. This man's on high alert. He's got 3 people outside his house, and he's got his family inside the house. His first instinct is going to be to protect them. But the only thing I say that will be causing problems for him is if that, as that person said before, if that young man that he killed was running away. But again, when you're in that situation where everything's all emotions are all het up, you can't predict it, can you? People are going to act. Ah, yeah.
Mencho! That one's for Mencho.
What was that? I don't even hear what he said. Dementia. What's that? Well, this you don't know. See, it's easy in hindsight to say, "Oh, you direct like this, you direct like that." But when you're in that situation, you're going to, your mind's going. I think that's why people are shocked, and there's many more people are saying this is a mistrial than there are saying that justice has been done. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The case he shot him in the back, and he died. It took a long time, if I remember. You're talking about that. It happened in the 80s, wasn't it? And he. Oh, you know, man. But this is it. You're talking about the one where he was on. Oh God, I can't remember his name. Let's see. He was on the farm, wasn't he? And there was a huge kickoff. Tony Martin. Yeah, Tony Martin wasn't he? Shot. The young fella came in. He'd had loads of burglaries at this place, and this young fella came in, but he went after him, and the young lad was trying to get out, was fleeing, was trying to get out, and he went after him and shot him. Well, that's an execution. That's an execution. There's no way about it. It's an execution, and you can't go do things like that. You can't go executing bagels like that. Yeah, I know he was big all the time, wasn't he? But there was a huge kickoff out of it. But I mean, if you've got to understand, if they had a law where you could get away with doing something like that, people would be using that as defense all the time. That's what you've got. So it's an awkward one. It's a very, very awkward one. Here we are. I'll post it again. PD. There we go. But yeah, I love watching this chat because I'll read things and I think, oh, that, and then I'll suddenly realize it's a little conversation going in amongst all your own. As I'm talking, you're all having your own little conversations with each other. That's wonderful. Hello.
Good evening, Anne.
How are you doing?
All right. So, I'm surprised you're talking about the Joe Joyce murder trial, but fair play. So, what would you like to know about it, and what would you like to talk about it?
Well, the thing is, what I can't work out is...
Let me just finish. I've watched these people for a very long time. I would have been friendly with Joe's older brother, John, that died.
Mm.
So, as I said, I've watched these people on this side of YouTube and the Travellers for a long time. So I have a good insight into it, Anne.
What's see, what I'm confused by is all that we're getting from the press is the basic bare bones details of the sentence and that there was attack. Now, what I can't work out, was there like a long feud with them, and was there a party going on also?
I don't know, right? I don't know, was there a long feud, but there was a barbecue going on in the McDonough's garden, which for some strange reason, and I can't figure it out, the council had put one Traveller family onto the back of another Traveller family. I find that very, very fucking strange, because especially two different families, it's always going to cause, that was always going to cause a problem. Always. That was always. Young Joe Joyce that they're talking about now is a very, very, very hardy man. He's probably not the king of the Travellers, but he has a good opinion of himself that he would be king, because he's tough. There's probably not too many of them out there that have beat him. He's had a lot of draws, but he's a hardy, tough young man. 42, hardy man. And to have a barbecue going on at the back of his house, where he obviously kicked off and said the noise is too loud. Something obviously along them lines. Let's talk straight. Kicked off where 5 or 6 of them came around the corner. Now, there was Joe on his own with his missus and his kids, whatever. The biggest mistake I think he made was leaving his property. If he had just stood on his fucking garden and fought his way, this would have never happened. But the problem was there was one person in the middle of his street that recorded the whole fucking thing and put it up on YouTube, Facebook instantly. That's the video everyone's seen. He chopped the uncle in the leg with the slash hook. That's what he did, chop him.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about him. He had a bottle of ammonia. But even in the video, you can see there was 4 or 5 other people. But the problem was in the court that they said after the fact, and this was never recorded, that he stood over the body screaming, "I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king."
Yeah.
That to a normal jury of independent country people will be seen as that's where the problem, and you had the McDonagh's mother in giving, not dissing the woman, but in giving it her poor heartache. At the end of the day, it was your fucking sons and daughters went up to start it. You know what I mean?
That's what's getting people's and there is a huge amount, because when I've been looking, I'm not the only one that put a poll up asking what people thought, others have, and the vast majority are saying that it's a mistrial, because
it probably was, like, he probably didn't need to go out with a fucking slash hook and a bottle of ammonia.
Well,
but that's how they roll, man. That's how they roll.
The thing is, if there's 3 of them coming up towards the house with weapons...
There was 5 in the video. There was 5. There was 2 females. Now, they were only kids. They were only 18 to 21. They were only young. He was 30. He was a big, strong, tough man. He probably could have battered them all with his hands.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take that chance. They're not going to pull a knife or a gun out. You know, I'm not going to take that chance. Someone comes to my house.
Yeah. Well, we in Liverpool, in Merseyside anyway, we had the famous one a few years ago of Newman. I can't remember his first name. And what it was, he went out to challenge a load of kids outside the store. They killed him. And it's like, it shocked everyone. They thought, wait a minute, and he was a big strapping fella. He was a strong fella. But these kids killed him. And it's just like, it shocked everyone at the time. But now you're hearing.
It was just before I jumped on, you were talking to someone, making a point about the farmer that shot the traveller in the back. Like, yeah. The travellers have a bad kind of stigma, the travelling community.
Yeah.
They can jump on. Anyone that wants to jump on and back the travellers, jump on and we'll have this debate. I do back the travellers. I was in school with them, was around them all my life. But there's bad eggs, man. There's bad fucking eggs too. Like, I know you're mad to talk about this domestic violence in fucking traveling families. I've seen that.
Yeah, because
there's loads of the reason, and I'll say this now, the reason that Oxford judges are not interested in fucking, I'm not being smart, but they've been done on slavery charges.
Yeah,
they've been like there's a lot more going on in the traveling community than these wrongings on YouTube. If you really look into it.
What I got about, that's why I was saying to him, when I was on Steve Rayton, he was there, oh God, Dean was actually there talking. I can hear myself coming back. Can you turn off?
It's not off, shut me off me.
It's off you.
I'll post the link again. I'll come back.
Okay, because I can hear myself reverbing. Well, I'll do, I'll just mute you when I'm talking because, Dean came on to, was on Steve Rayton. I was saying to Dean, you could say to Dean, well, let's talk about domestic violence and other concerns. There are other concerns about traveling communities. And what happened was he had a bad connection, so he couldn't come on to talk to me about it. But I know damn well from when I worked for the police, there's the problem with traveling, and it's not just, I'm not saying all traveling communities, I'm talking about some. There's a real fear of people coming forward and reporting anything like domestic abuse or other kinds of abuse because of reprisals. And this is the problem, especially if they are traveling around. I don't know, there's strange travelers now.
But the travelers are stigmatized, though. And you have to, the travelers are stigmatized.
They're stigmatized.
100%.
But we know for sure 100% there's issues with victims are terrified to come forward because there'll be reprisals if they do.
It's not like it's not like a cult. It's not like a cult, but it's a different. It's different to how we live. They live in a closed off society. Yeah, they always have. Like maybe you in the UK are not so used to seeing how we see travellers.
Well, my mama,
society,
My mama was a Southern Irish woman. Now, her view, because I got her, she used to go on about, she used to go playing with what she said, the gypsies. She used to play with gypsies. But in Ireland, see, in the UK, they'll talk about gypsies and travellers as a homogenous group, interchangeable, it's the same. But I remember she always had.
It's not necessarily though. It's not, because the gypsy thing is the Romany gypsy. They're the English travellers. They're the likes of the surname of Smith.
Which I was going to say, yeah. The
thing is, sorry. The Irish travellers are different.
She used to say there was a distinction of them. There was the tinkers, there was the travellers. Now, tinkers and gypsies were people who literally, they were, as she used to say, the true travellers. Travellers, she used to say, anyone can be a traveller. I could get a caravan now and I'm a traveller. Then there's the Romanese, as she said, and the Romanese are right. I mean, they're an ethnic group, but I'd argue tinkers can be seen as an ethnic group in their own right as well. But Romanese are the old, going right back to ancient
Central Europe. Central Europe. They're thriving right now in Central Europe.
Yeah, so the Romanese, they're the ones with the crystal balls and all this. So she used to make a distinction, always made a distinction. But I found in because I actually had this out with a woman in the police. It was, like she was diversity and all this, an officer for diversity. And she kept on going on about gypsies. I said, but you're talking about New Age travelers. I said, they're not gypsies. And she didn't know what she was talking about. And it was only that I can remember my mama talking about it as I was growing up. And I used to go over to County Wicklow as well when I was a child. And I used to see this. I'd say, no, I'd say there's a difference. I said, there's a big difference. I said, it's like saying that someone Scottish is English or someone Welsh is English. I said, they're not. I said, they're different defined groups and they have different cultures. The travellers are all the fighters. The gypsies can be the fighters. I said, the Romanese, I said, are more, I said, they're the ancient travelling people, the Romanese, which they reckon actually originated from ancient India because they have a lot of the Indian belief systems as well, or ancient Indian belief systems. But it's a fascinating, what's this? Here we are. Do they see this all kind? It's like the, do you know what I find fascinating? They found out that, what have I got here? They found out a lot of the things that religious ceremonies that the ancient Egyptians used to carry out are very similar to the ancient Indians, which the Hindus, which is absolutely fascinating. So you see the crossover there, but we're sort of like getting out of there, getting away from the subject.
Getting back to the main point of the topic tonight, I do think that the Irish judicial system is very Irish. It was in the UK, but it was up the north. Similar type of mentality thinking. But I do think they're very prejudicial against travellers. And I don't think Joe had a chance before he even fucking started. When he was defending his property, one man by himself.
You see, that's what I think. That's what I think as well. It's what I'll do. I'll just mute you and talk, and then unmute you because I'm getting terrible feedback here. There we go. So anyway, I think the fact is, there's definitely something not gone right here, and that's why people are shocked by it. And you're right in what you're saying. Something now, whether it's through prejudice, it could be through some kind of a prejudice towards him because he is traveling. But I don't get this. I don't know what confuses me, right? What do travellers do? Living in houses. I thought if you're a traveller, you didn't live in a house, but they all seem to have houses. I can't work it out. That's what confuses me. You're a traveller, but you have a house. Doesn't that sort of go against maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, Romany, gypsies. And you should tell by the names, surnames, can't you? Pellegrini and stuff like that. But they're the original ancient gypsies.
Sorry, I think it's because my phone's on charge.
Yeah, it most probably is. So, I just asked the question, Dave. I'm not coming across as completely stupid, but some of these travellers are on YouTube, and like Joe Joyce, they're in houses. I thought travellers didn't live in houses. That's what confuses me nowadays.
I suppose it's moved on a little bit to 20. I suppose moved on a little, but a lot of them do. Like from where I was from, I'm from Southern Ireland. I'm in Czech Republic now. Here a couple of months, but from how I used to see, they do live in little chalets, little houses, but they do spend a lot of time on the road, and it's their culture. Like they live in houses, but they live in houses in their own kind of community, other than the few that are council houses, we'd say. But even the ones that are in council houses, they still, in Ireland anyway, they still carry on like that, travelling.
Oh yeah.
Still carry on with their values, and some have moved on. Like some have certainly moved on to criminality.
Well, this is
sides of it,
This is the issue, but remember, as a child seeing,
they're smart people, though.
Oh yeah, brilliant
people.
business minds, brilliant
Smart
business minds.
Smart
I remember
people.
meeting the king of the gypsies, though. I did when I was a kid, and I thought this was wonderful. And we were in taking because kids could go in bars. Don't know if that still sinks. I haven't been to Southern Ireland for a while, but when I was a kid, you could go into the pubs and the bars. There was no restrictions there with your parents. And I remember going in and seeing I thought this is absolutely fascinating. The king of the gypsies, big, loud man. And I remember wads and wads of cash.
But that's their thing. Like, they don't have their television. They don't have what we have. They have their culture. They have the horses. They have their wagons that they're proud of. Yeah, that's their culture, and it's moving on a little bit now. It'd be interesting to see in 50 years' time will there be still that same culture. Because I think it's the grandfathers and the later fathers are keeping that culture. It'd be interesting to see the way the world is moving on in 50 years' time, where they'll be at.
I think you'll still get the Romanese. I don't think the Romanese will ever settle down.
They're interesting people. They're interesting people.
Oh, wait,
they're interesting people.
The only thing that got me about the Romanese, they can be very, the fascinating people are fascinating people, because I say they're an ethnic category of their own race. It's not just that they are called Romanese because they're gypsies. They actually are a distinctive class of individual. But my God, they can be so prejudicial, which I always thought was a shame.
I didn't want to interrupt it. Where I am now, I'm just outside Prague in a little village. The wife is from here, so we moved here. But there's so many Romani gypsies here. So there's very little black people, very, 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 very little black people here. But there's lots of Romanis, lots.
Oh, they are fascinating, and as I say, the whole history of them and the.
But even the English Romani compared to the Romani are here are completely different. Yeah. Like, have you seen this guy Bob Smith pop up on YouTube?
Bob Smith now.
No, he's a Romani gypsy, English gypsy. He's tied into some stupid stuff on YouTube, but he's a very interesting man. Yeah. Very, very, very. He comes across maybe a little bit stupid, but he's not stupid. He's a very interesting man.
Oh, this gypsies, and I'm told. I say when I talk about gypsies, I'm talking about for decades being gypsies, and also the Romanis. They're great business people, great business minds, and they do make a hell of a lot of money. And it's not where people think it's crime ridden. It's not.
But they're not tied into the system, so they have to learn how to make money. They have to. Like the lad I was in school, I'm not going to give his name. He's very successful now, back where I'm from. But he left school when we were in 13, 14. So what's that in first year in Ireland? It would have been. So whatever, 13, 14 in UK terms. He left school. No problem. Yeah. All the girls leave school very young. All the girls leave school very young. They get married off. Like some of the traveller girls get married off to men they've never even met before.
Yeah, no,
that's their culture.
Well, this is what I wanted to talk about. If Dean and all that,
are you on TikTok, Anne?
Not TikTok. No, oh God, I can't get right around that thing. Okay. I'm on Instagram.
I'll give you a research platform right now. Make a TikTok account. Write this down. Write this down so you get it right. Make a TikTok.
I'll have to write it afterwards because I haven't got a.
There is a traveller girl. There is a traveller girl. There's a traveller girl. I think she's 21 or 22 on TikTok now. Bridgie Barbara is her name. Bridgie Barbara, black haired girl. She's 21. She was married off to us at 16 years of age, barely out of school, to a man she'd never met, and she was tortured by him. And now she's 21. She's come around to tell her story on the other side.
Well, I'd love to talk to her.
Bridgie Barbara is her name on TikTok.
Don't worry, I'll get that. I'll play it back and get that back. Because this is what I want to talk about, you see. This is the thing I want to know when Dean was going on about, Decker and all this. I was thinking, he was griping me actually, and I was trying to, but because it was on Steve's show, I was trying to be polite and I thought, but I felt like saying to him, look, get on here and start talking about what I used to hear in the police, and start telling me about what you're doing in your own, because he goes on, he's a traveling this in your own community to get this sourced out, because there are serious issues and two major issues of concern. See, this way it can be problematic. There's two really dangerous areas, especially when it comes to youths or safety or anything like that. And that's when someone is either moving around a group of people, or what another danger which people don't realize can be in home tutoring. Children that are in home tutoring need watching all the time or checking up constantly, because if there's going to be an avenue for someone to abuse a child, it's going to be when they're home tutoring them. And these are areas that you don't hear about too much. They don't discuss in the public, but they need discussing. And it's not about labeling or being prejudicial towards traveling people or gypsies. It's just, it's a reality that has to be spoken about, that people are scared in those communities coming out. I mean, you get it in other communities, they're terrified, not just the travellers and all that, but anything that's an identified community that is somehow separate or is made to feel separate, because of course they do get a lot of prejudice launched at them, travelling people. They'll go in their own confines, and like Somalis, that's another group.
Do some research on the girl I told you about.
I will
do a little bit more deeper. Do a little bit more deeper research than that, and then I'll talk to you again another time, and we can go deeper down this rabbit hole.
Definitely will.
Right, big up. Good luck.
Thanks for coming on, and great to speak to you. Let's see. Put the, do you know this thing? Sorry, people. This thing jumps up when I go to post the. Oh, come on, go it. When I go to post the link, if anyone wants to come on. I'm still. Do you know what? This is what I mean. Having trouble connecting. I'm still on. For some reason, I'm still live, aren't I? This is what he was doing the other day. Just someone tell me, can you still see me on the internet? Because according to this, I'm off the internet. Having trouble connecting, please check your internet connection. I think I'm going to have to stop using StreamYard, because it was doing this yesterday. It was doing weird things yesterday. It's just getting progressively worse now. It won't let me post. I'm live, great Mrs. O. I'm still on. Now, it won't let me post the link. Yeah. It's technical issues. Let's see if this. Yeah, I can't even. Oh, wait, we are technical issues. That's what it was doing this yesterday. But if it carries on, there's no use using. Yeah, it will not let me post the link. So it's a problem with StreamYard. So what I'll have to do, I'll have to try and work out another thing, because it's saying here every time I go, having trouble connecting, please check your internet. I'm on. So it's, thank God I don't pay for StreamYard, because then I can find something else to use. But if anyone's got any suggestions of what platform I can use instead of StreamYard, because I'm not, it's no point doing this if every 5 seconds it's going to stop. Yesterday it wouldn't let me log off. I had to wait and wait. Now it's not letting me post any links. So no one can jump on, but you can tell them anyway. You put in a negative thing and they contact you and say, what went wrong? What went wrong? They always contact you. So I'll have to tell them that your site is not worth it. Well, it's not installed, KickUp. It's not installed. Literally, what I do is I just go on when I want to use it. That's how I do it. But it was doing, as I doing it yesterday. It's never done it before. Then it's doing it today. And I usually find when something starts acting like this, it's going to be a trend. And the same with internet companies. They recently got rid of my internet company. I used to be with Vodafone and I dumped them because twice I'd had trouble, trying to connect. Then the third time I haven't, said, well, I'm not doing it again because it's going to be a trend. So you move on. You can tell you're always going to have trouble at some point. I was off for this funny thing about Vodafone. Anyone thinking about Vodafone or with them, be very careful, right? I went offline. The whole street did. We went offline. So you can't blame Vodafone for that because we're all different internet providers. But they all got up the day after. I wasn't. For a week, I wasn't live. Had no internet. And I was on some. And so anyway, I said, I can't put up with this. It's definitely you that's at fault here because everyone else is up and running. Yeah, I'm the only one. I mean, it's obvious it's Vodafone's fault that you're not getting me back online. So anyway, I left them. I'm with another provider now. They know, informed them. The other provider informed them. The other day, I got a message from them. Oh, we're sorry you're still having problems with your internet. We're trying to fix it. It's your line. It must be your line. Please go with another provider. And I thought, no, it's got nothing to do with my line. It's got a bit to do with you being a rubbish provider. But that's like a month on, and they still think that I'm. So I had to get onto my bank and say, look, if they're taking money out, but the bank said no, said it's been stopped, the direct debits. So that's how good they are. Be careful of Vodafone, that's all I'll say. Absolutely. They sell stuff really good as well. So I don't know where I'm going with this because I can't, unless if anyone wants to join in, you'd have to go right back to see where to post the link because it will not let me post the link. So you'd have to go back, and you'll see somewhere there should be, the link's on there. Around about 7:15, I post the link. So if anyone wants to jump in, I'm sorry, you'll have to go back to there because I cannot post the link. So that's goodbye to StreamYard. Try it once more. Because this won't be worth doing if I'm going to be... Yeah, it's having trouble connecting. So I'll have to explain it to them in the when I log out of this, because Paris isn't here, is she? If Paris was here, she could post the link, I suppose. Someone, Paris. I don't think Paris is here. Yeah, she could have, couldn't she? But because this isn't going to work, is it? If I can't post the link, there's no point continuing, people. So that's one thing I'll have to point out to StreamYard had to abort because Thingo failed for the second day in the run. Yeah, last time was on. It went when I tried the previous one. I was trying to log off, and it was like I thought I'm sure I'm still live, and it kept on saying live. So I closed YouTube down and closed everything down. And next thing, I come back on again and thought it's still on. And it's a good job I checked, or it would have been going on and going on and going on. Then it just eventually stopped when I can't do anything, so it won't even let me. Whenever I'll even try to type something. Let's see, I'll type test here and see if it will let me send that through. I'm typing the word test here and see if that will come through. No. Oh, didn't it work? So you can't copy and paste it? Silly. It is. I thought moderators were supposed to do that. They'll be able to do it. So, people, I'm I'm awful sorry about this, but I'm going to have to end it. Blame StreamYard, not me. There's no point carrying on because I'm going to be the one sitting here talking. And it's no point me doing that. It's just not doing it. So I'm sorry, my lovelies. I'm going to have to end this now. I'm going to have waiting, but if anyone's got any suggestions, put it in the comments where if anyone knows of live streaming software that's as good. I say it's good. It's rubbish, isn't it? It's rubbish. Let's face it. It's not good. But it was good for a while. But if anyone knows an alternative to StreamYard, please let me know, because it's just, and it would have been a really good conversation, I reckon. I was looking forward to this, but StreamYard stopped to happen. So anyway, my lovelies, I'll end the broadcast now if I can, and let StreamYard know that it's just ended the thing for me. So bye-bye, me darlings. Sorry about this. Now I've ended the broadcast. I'm still live, aren't I? It's doing it again. No. This is... Oh, I'm not using StreamYard ever again, I can assure you. No, end broadcast. Having trouble connecting. But if it's connecting, why is it, if I'm live, why is it saying that I'm not connected to the internet? I mean, doesn't it make sense? Having trouble connecting. I can't even end the broadcast. So this is how intelligent StreamYard is. It's saying, having trouble connecting, please check your internet connection. That's when it says end the broadcast. So it's that daft, it doesn't even know that I couldn't be live in a broadcast if my internet wasn't working. No, it won't let me end the broadcast. So I'm going to have to go in and end it from StreamYard. Let's see if it worked that way. But I'm not using it again. That's for sure. Yeah, won't let me end it. I'm going to have to turn it off, come back in, turn it off, come back in. Leave.